Hi, I'm Sylvia Henderson, host of Idea Success TV. And today's question that I'll cover is it good to pivot your business? And is pivoting the same as completely changing your business model? Or is pivoting something that's less, but still good? I don't know how that sure came out kind of jumbled, but basically is pivoting. What is pivoting, and is pivoting a good thing in your business? It's essentially the question. And so pivoting, to answer the first part of that question, the definition, when I looked it up, and it kind of comes from the book called Lean Startup by Eric Ries. Pivoting is a familiar word in the startup world, because I hear this a lot when I'm coaching startups on how to pitch to investors. It says when your first business model isn't working, and this happens a lot, the CEO and the team pivot to plan B. These are kind of deep breath moments. I didn't want to sigh too heavy because it's going to be on the mic. So, but pivoting doesn't mean desperation. It can be a tool to discover additional growth, a growth that you might otherwise have overlooked. And you know, when you start a project, you had a great idea for business and you start that business and it seemed to be brilliant. But then you find out that either the market has changed or implementation of your idea is not quite the way you thought it would be, or people have given you different perspectives and you find you're not as productive or as profitable as you intended, and you're thinking, is it time to quit? Is it time to change? Or is it time to just pivot to a different strategy? So pivot is a structured course correction designed to test a new hypothesis about a product, a business model, or a new engine of growth. And like I said, it's one of the core concepts in Lean Startup. And something that's really important to think about is that pivoting is a change in strategy without being a change in vision. So let me show you a slide that kind of illustrates this point a little bit more clearly. So take your original business plan. When you're a startup, you take your original business plan and you've got it all laid out. You've got, you know, whatever the block one is, and that will lead to the actions and the business you're going to do represented by the second block under the original business plan. And that leads all nicely to the third set of actions that are going to happen. And you achieve your vision. That's what that star is. It's the vision. That's your business being a success. But now we know that what really happens is you execute that first block of your plan, those first actions. And that leads, okay, that went okay. And then you execute the second block of plans or second actions, and you find out, oops, that runs short. Something happens. That's why that box is a little shorter. And you go, I think something needs to change. And the triangle represents a delta, represents change. So you think, that's the pivot. You think, we need to pivot to something else, a different business model, a different set of processes, something. But notice that everything still leads to that gold star at the end. It still leads to the same vision, just implemented differently. So once a business pivots, then that little blue box, or the shorter box, represents the new set of actions that need to take place that still leads to the end result, which is the vision. And so that's kind of the concept of pivoting, or how I see it. Let me tell you that pivoting is a very common thing in business. I said that earlier. I'm going to give you a couple of companies that are well known now that pivoted, sometimes drastically. And I'll tell you, I'm in the middle of pivoting myself. I've pivoted from a keynote speaker to a training company of small giving training to employees and small government contracting companies who didn't have training departments, to coaching and consulting after having written a book and doing seminars and workshops and retreats related to that book. So I went to a consultant model, still kind of one-on-one, and now I'm pivoting again to form a different company entity with a partner, still with the same vision in mind in the future of helping people become the best they can be by pulling their ideas out of their heads and transforming their ideas to action, just in a different way and in a different environment, corporate environment, instead of one-on-one. So anyway, that's how I'm pivoting my business right now. Here's some companies that have pivoted major league in the past. YouTube. YouTube started out as a video dating site. First, it launched on Valentine's Day in 2005 as a video dating site with the unofficial slogan, "Tune in and hook up." So the founders found out the original idea didn't take off as planned, and through pivoting became the YouTube that we know. Twitter. Twitter was a podcasting network named Audio. Let's see, back in 2005, another 2005 company, Twitter was birthed in Audio, a website where people could find and subscribe to podcasts from around the world. Once again, the company struggled, and through pivoting and a transformation became Twitter. Instagram was a confusing mobile app called Bourbon that nobody used. Instagram started as a part-time project to learn coding so that the founder could learn coding while holding a full-time marketing job. So I don't think he intended for it to be the big thing that it is. So Instagram was a confusing mobile app to help somebody learn coding, and look at what it's become. Flickr was an online role-playing game. Groupon was an online fundraising site for social good projects. Nokia, well, they're kind of going out of favor now, but Nokia, the phone company, was once a paper mill company that sold rubber boots. Can you believe that? And then Nintendo was a manufacturer of playing cards. All of these companies pivoted at some point in time to be the companies that we know. And so as I come to almost a close to this program, let me give you a couple of ways that you might consider pivoting if your business is at the point where you're thinking, or your team is thinking, we need to make some changes, but we don't need to but we don't want to think of the business as failing. It's just something's not working. We need to make a change. We need to pivot. So here's a few ways. Find that grabber thing, that grabber feature that makes your solution and makes your company stand out. And maybe you execute that solution differently. Hone your definition of a target customer demographic. You may be looking at the wrong demographic for your customers. If you focus on a different customer, like I'm doing in my business, and your vision is still the same, but just for a different customer, you can then pivot and take the actions you need to take to reach that customer and carry out your business. A couple more, and then I'm done. Switch to a more attractive, a more lucrative business model. Change your competitive positioning and your pricing model to improve the traction that you get for your business. And then maybe, is there an alternative technology platform that solves your business growth that would work better for your business? And possibly position your business as a social enterprise rather than a commercial enterprise in order to grow and move forward. So those are just a few ways that you might consider pivoting. Replay this video to capture and take notes on those ways that you might pivot, and bring those ideas to your team to think about. We don't shut down, we persevere, but perhaps we persevere on a different path, and that's pivoting. So I'm Sylvia Henderson, host of Idea Success TV, and I invite you to tune in to the next program.